What's going on with you guys, man? This is Mr. Solo Dolo, and I'm coming back with another video. Just want to, kind of talk to you guys, man. I have no particular topic, but I have something on my mind that I just want to air out, and I feel like if I talk about it with you guys, I'll feel a little bit better about it. Because going into this video, I'm very pissed off, and not majority to the title of the video that you see, but just something more of a personal thing when it comes to myself. And I feel like I'm lacking in some areas of my life that I need to correct, and I'll go to God every day for him to help me correct those problems while putting in the work to do so. So basically, I'm on my way to work, just kind of chilling, listening to something educational, right? Always try to stimulate my mind any way I can. Next thing that happens, I'm just going 40, right? A car is tailgating me, and I'm thinking it's just any regular car, right? And then, out of nowhere, the sirens pop up. So I immediately knew, it was a popo, right? Immediately knew it was the police that was signaling for me to, pull over. So, I'm at this point, I'm getting annoyed, because I've had this happen before a month ago where a police officer pulled me over for no freaking reason. It was the first time around, it was some violation. Right, some stupid violation in Jersey. But on the premise of being a black person, you often feel like that when you get pulled over by the police, you can't help but feel like, damn, man, this could be my last day on this earth. I feel like this could be the end, because you just never know with these police officers nowadays what their true intentions are, right? As a black man or a black woman, you know from experience, you know what I'm talking about. Y'all can definitely relate. When that cop pulls you over, you cannot help but feel like today could be that day. And that's exactly how I felt in that moment. No other race, no other nationality, no other, colored people could really relate to how us black folks feel when we get pulled over by the police. And we feel like we didn't do a damn thing. But like that instant, feeling of guilt or shame or whatever feeling just soars through us. But we didn't really do anything. It's like, for some reason, we feel like we're in the wrong, but we didn't do anything wrong. That's how I felt. Like, damn, did I do something wrong? Like, what did I do? Like, that's what was going through my mind. Like, yo, what did I do wrong? You know what I'm saying? So the police pulls me over. A cop pulls me over. Like, sir, can I help you? I'm about to be late for work. I'm like, because I was already running late as it is, It felt like I was going to be running late. But immediately he tells me, I need to see your license. I need to see your car insurance policy, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I need to see your registration form. And I'm like, hold up. Can you tell me why you're pulling me over today? Or at this night, why are you pulling me over? What's the reasoning for you pulling me over? Can I get a reason? I asked him this question about 3 times because we were going back and forth. It's like, sir, I need to see your license, registration. Like, I understand that, but can you tell me why you're pulling me over at this time? Because I feel like, as someone that pays taxes, I should be given the respect to being given a reason as to why I'm being pulled over. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't immediately just jump to getting my license, my coverage for my insurance, and for a registration form just to hand it over to you because you said so. I think it's fair for me to know the reason why I'm being pulled over. So he didn't want to tell me the reason until I gave him what he wanted. You know what I'm saying? I just kept going back and forth because I'm like, you're gonna tell me why I'm being pulled over. But for the sake of saving time, because I was running out of time, I had to be at this job at 12 o'clock. I just gave him my registration. Here's my ID. Here you go. So I got pulled over like around 11:27. But hold on, I'm gonna tell you the reason why I got pulled over. The reason why I got pulled over was because of my high beams. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, like, your high beams, like that's pretty stupid. And you know, I'm right there with you. But you know, it's funny because every time I go to work at night, I go into this street where it's pitch black dark. So I have no choice but to keep my high beams on, right? But when a car comes passing by on the opposite road, you're supposed to turn your high beams off, right? A lot of drivers that I notice never do that. You know, they always wind up putting their high beams on, leaving it on while I'm passing, and they momentarily blind me. Like, this has happened to me many, many times. Even just drivers tailgate. You ever have a driver tailgate you and they got their freaking high beams on? Like, dude, why the hell do you gotta have your high beams on while you're tailgating me? Like, first of all, I can't see anything through my mirror, right? And I feel like I'm being blinded, almost. You ever have that feeling where a driver's just tailgating you and they got their high beams on and stuff? This happens all the time where I live. Drivers always have their high beams on, even during passing you on the opposite road. I just happen to have my high beams on when I was passing a driver on the opposite direction. Yeah, I mean the opposite road. And so the cop happened to catch it. So I got caught in the act, right? But like, just previously to me getting pulled over, the same thing happened to me. He was complaining that, oh, you could be blinding drivers and everything. I'm like, the same thing happened to me before you pulled me over. So it's like, if you're gonna pull over me with my high beams on while other drivers are passing by, basically handing me a ticket saying this is improper use of your high beams and everything. Well, the same thing applies to other drivers, which I don't see you pulling them over. You know, it's kind of funny how you just be tailgating me out of nowhere, and it's like, I didn't see this cop coming at all. You know, you know how some cops, man, are actually very sneaky. You know, some cops are very sneaky. You guys got to watch out for cops, you know, because they can be very sneaky and come out of nowhere when you least expect it. You feel me? And this cop pretty much came out of nowhere. So I was waiting about 20 plus minutes just for him to give me back my license and my registration, right? So I'm like, I'm calling the officer, right? Twice. I'm like, what's the holdup? What's the issue? You know, like, you're just checking my stuff, and you pulled me over because I was, you know, improperly using my high beams, right? Which is, you know, committing a violation here in Jersey. I don't know all these damn violations. It's like, this is the second time I got pulled over by a cop for a violation that I committed, and I didn't know that I even committed a violation. You know, I the second time where I knew nothing of a violation that I committed at all. So I'm thinking, like, what's going on here? Like, it's taking too long, longer than expected. So at this point, it's about 11:55, And I'm like, yep, gonna be late. Let the supervisor know, like, listen, I got pulled over for this reason, and I'm gonna be late coming in. It is what it is. So he comes back, and I don't even know why there was a second police car that pulled up to the other cop car. I'm like, why is there another cop car? This doesn't make any sense. Just for something so minor, So basically he comes back and tells me that, we had a warrant, that Atlantic, where I live at, basically. I don't want to give off the name, the city where I live and everything, But basically there was a warrant out for my arrest. So I'm like, a warrant for my arrest? So, like, mind you, I'm very confused. And I'm like trying to think, well, what could I have done for me to have a warrant for my arrest? So he was telling me that it was from a city in which, you got your car towed and everything. And this was a time where I didn't have my insurance renewed, and I had the wrong registration tags for my vehicle at the time. A little mishap between me and the dealership at that time. This was last year around July, where I got my car towed because I had the wrong, registration tags on the vehicle, right? But ultimately, I got that, situated within a day. It got took into the impound, but before I picked up my vehicle, had my insurance ready, had my registration tags and my ID, and got my car back within one day. Because I had all that stuff situated. Had to go to the dealership, get the correct tags. I was supposed to pick up in January of that year, within a month of getting this vehicle, right? But there was a situation that occurred between me and the dealership. I won't get into much of that, But, my car got towed, because I didn't have the stuff that that was required, right? But I was in the middle of getting my getting my insurance renewed. And how I got pulled over that first time around, I pretty much cut off a police officer by accident, So that may have been an offense, and because there was a situation where I was on the wrong road. You ever been on one of those one-way roads and it's like you're on the opposite direction and stuff, and you're supposed to go that way, but instead the road is actually this way. Well, I wound up going the complete opposite way of that road. So I for some reason I just wound up cutting off a police officer out of nowhere, right? And that's how I got pulled over. And then they figured out that I didn't have the correct registration tags, and my insurance wasn't renewed yet. It was in the middle getting renewed, and that's how my car got towed. So I was supposed to show up to court, right, through Zoom, because I went to this building to kind of confirm for, the Zoom court date, but I never got anything in the mail. Never. I was expecting to. I just never got anything in the mail, right? But the officer had explained to me. He had explained to me that that was probably sent to your old address, and it was. But at that time, my ID read my old address. I didn't have my ID renewed at that time, so it went to my old address, and I never even got it. So I guess that's when the whole warrant for your arrest thing, that's kind of where that came from, right? But initially when I was told that, I'm like, that kind of, it spooked me, but I was like confused at the same time. I'm like, because they were about to pretty much arrest me, for missing court, right? He had told me that that's been dismissed, that's been dropped, I guess. I'm assuming it was dropped and dismissed. I'm not entirely sure, right? But all I can say to that is I dodged a bullet, but that was because of the Most High. The Most High definitely had my back at that time and still does now, right? Because I'm like, I started to get a little nervous when they were taking forever. The cop was taking forever just to check my stuff. I'm like, it does not take you 20 plus minutes to verify my identity and who I am. It does not take that long. So they were pretty much going through my records, right, from last year, right? So they dug that up. So, you know, I was still kind of pissed because I was going to be late, right? But I was like, wow, I almost got locked up last night. It's crazy. But through the grace of the Most High, that was prevented and that was stopped from happening. You know, I immediately thank God, thank Christ after I realized I could have really just been locked up. I wasn't really worried as much as being locked up. It was more so worried about how my mother was going to react. You know, because I would have been more concerned for her health more than me. It's like, I'm a grown-ass man. I can handle anything you put me through. Anything life puts me through, I can handle that shit. You know? I was more so scared for her, how she was going to react. Because you know how your mom is. Your mom will be your ride or die. She will be your biggest fan, biggest supporter. Any trouble that you're in, your mother is going to be literally your number one fan. She's going to be on fire for you, you know? And that's the biggest thing. And me getting locked up would have definitely spooked her a lot more. I can definitely attest to that, you know what I'm saying? But thank God I dodged a bullet. And, you know, it just made me realize how more aware that I got to be. You know, I got to be more careful, obviously. You know, because I feel like it almost feels like that cop was like following me. You know, it was just weird to see how he just caught me out of nowhere, right? But like sometimes when you're not looking, you're not really aware who's behind you. It could be a cop, could be, you know, someone undercover. You never know. You know, I go to this park, and right next to this park is the police station. That's the same cop from that station that pulled me over. So I'm assuming they know what my car looks like. You know, they've seen my car around plenty of times. You know, but it's just so stupid. You know, like I get pulled over for the dumbest thing, and it's like, I understand, you know, improper use of your high beams and stuff, but literally the same thing happened to me. It happens to me every single night. I'm bound to pass a driver that's going to have their high beams on, and I'm going to be blinded momentarily, you know? That's just what I go through. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys go through the same mess. That one driver or a couple drivers, it's just like they just have their high beams on, and it's like you're driving past them and it's like, damn, I can't even see. I'm like blinded for a split second, you know? So that's that though. Like that whole thing happened last night, and you know, I don't particularly like cops because I've seen so much dirt that they have done to people, innocent people, you know? So I just remain calm in any situation, but understand that I'm not going to back down. I'm not going to just willfully submit to a police officer just because you have a badge and you have a uniform. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to ask the question, why am I being pulled over? I'm not going to just assume that I did something wrong when I know I didn't do a damn thing wrong at the end of the day. You know, these cops, man, at the end of the day, and it took me 19 minutes to say this, but like, these cops be bored as hell. They're just bored. They need someone to, you know, bother. It's like, while you're pulling me over, checking my history, checking my records for 20, 30 minutes straight, you have another offender out there doing dirt, committing crimes, stealing, robbing, hurting people, you know, groping some woman. You got a creep out there groping some woman. It's like, but I get pulled over for having my high beams on while a driver on the opposite road is passing by. Okay, right. But there's other people out there doing more dirt, way more stuff, right? Just doing some foul stuff out there. So it's like, in that moment, I was just really pissed off. And going into this video, I still felt pissed off, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted to get that off my chest, basically. You know, the more I talked about it with you guys, you know, I feel a little bit better now. But I got a ticket, you know, a little lousy $55 penalty, no problem, whatever. It's just, you get busted for the most dumbest shit where I'm at, man. The most dumbest shit. It's insane. But all I can do is stay in my P's and Q's, keep the Most High first, and thank God that He had my back, that He prevented that from happening, you know. Had I not kept the Most High close to me, had I not put the Most High first, and not been following the Most High, getting into the Word, the Scriptures, I probably would have been arrested. It probably would have happened, and y'all probably would have seen me for quite a while, you know what I'm saying? And once again, I'm just grateful, you know, that I got bailed out of that situation. So, yeah, guys, with that being said, you know, there is no topic, just want to kind of vent. This ain't no rant, because I'm not yelling, I'm not hollering, I'm not cussing. This is just a vent video. Y'all rarely get that from me nowadays, but I felt like I had to come on here and vent to you guys, let y'all know what's up. So with that being said, make sure y'all like the video for the algorithm. Subscribe today for more content. This is Mr. Solo Dolo. You know, comment down below your run-ins with the Popo, any situation that you've been through with the cops. You know, share your story down below, man. You know, it's not that heated, you know what I'm saying, but you know, it's my own little situation that I went through a couple times. Anytime you get pulled over by the police, it's not a good feeling. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just something very small, it's still not a good feeling. You know? But with that being said, thank y'all for watching, and I'm out.